So my starter that I had in my fridge for a couple of weeks went bad somehow. I mean, it smells so bad it makes me rich, so I'm not going to use it. But luckily, I had some dried starter. Um, so I'm going to break these up and rehydrate it, and I will show you guys how we bring this back to life. Just then you rehydrate with 2 ounces of water. And then it says just stir it um, until it is rehydrated. It takes about 3 hours. See you later. Okay, it's been a little more than 3 hours, but it's finally all dissolved. So now we're gonna feed. It said it was okay if there were a few chunks. So we're just gonna go with it. It said to feed 2 ounces. I usually go grams, but I'm gonna follow the King Arthur instructions. Actually, I want it to come back. This is very thick. This is too thick. I don't know if you can see. There we go. So I am going to add a little bit more water, but rye flour does absorb a lot more. This wouldn't. This would be too thick. So I'm going to add a little water till it's a nice consistency, and then let it sit for 24 hours. So it didn't grow as much, as far as I can tell, as I would have hoped, but I'm not sure if um, it may have grown and just have fallen back, since I did scrape the sides pretty well. So the fact that there's some residue makes me think that maybe it did grow and just fall back down. So no big deal. We're gonna feed it like normal. I didn't wait the full 24 hours because I think I'm guessing that it rose and fell. I want to feed it before more die off. So let's just do that. Let's actually, sorry, take this out. I'm gonna just take it all out and measure it. Tear this off. Stir it up. It's gonna definitely have more of a pasty consistency now, as opposed to like a liquidy consistency. I don't like to scrape on the sides. I try to use my fingers because as long as you have washed your fingers with soap recently, which I have, the other good stuff like microbe. There's lots of microbes on your fingers that are good for your sourdough, so don't feel like it has to be sterile. It should be clean, but it doesn't have to be sterile. You just want to get all the dry bits, all the wet bits from the bottom mixed in well. Now that it's daytime, I will watch it and see if it rises and falls. Like I think it did. Pretty sure. I also use this rubber band to mark um, the line when you just feed it, and then you'll be able to see how much it grows. All right, see ya. So it's been 24 hours, and again, I don't know. I can't really tell if it's rising or not, but it's definitely bubbling. So we're alive. So we're just gonna, you can see the bubbles. So we're gonna keep on feeding. Off 0. Oh yeah, it's definitely bubbling. Nice. It's hard to see, so I won't bother. 20 grams. Whoop. Okay. Yeah, that's a lot more than 20, but I'm gonna discard this into a discard container, which is just something that you keep in the fridge that you don't feed, that you can use to make like pancakes and waffles and flatbreads and, sorry, fry breads, stuff like that. Tear this one off. We take our 20 grams. And then we take our, tear this off. Oops, 60 grams of water, warm water. Stir so that the flour is more easily. We'll take it from there. And we are in business. We've more than doubled. Lots of bubbles. Lots of bubbles on top. Has that yeasty bread smell. So now I'm gonna give it, so it's 6 o'clock now. I really want to bake tomorrow. So I'm gonna try to feed, I'm gonna feed right now, and I'm gonna try to feed one more time before bed. So in like another 6 hours. So right now I'm gonna do a 1 to 2 feeding. I take out, tear this off. I don't know if you can see this, but see how bubbly it is? That is an active starter, my friends. Good stuff. Alright, so give this a little stir. 25 grams. Discard container. When you're feeding like a normal starter that's already active and not dehydrated, there are ways to feed smaller amounts so you don't have to waste so much. But when I was rehydrating, you sort of have to go big. Alright, tear this. Four-hour update. It's already looks like it's more than tripled, but you see how it's still like I don't know if you can see, but it's still like doming, like it's not sunken in, it's still doming, which means it is still growing. So it's got about an hour and a half left before midnight, before I wanted to feed it the last time. So I think we're in good shape. All right. Wow, it is still growing. So I think it 1, 2, 3, it's definitely tripled. Probably more because this is fluted down here. And it's still going, but it's almost midnight, and I'm just gonna go for it. This time I'm gonna feed 1 to 1. 1 to 1 to 1. So we're gonna do Okay, it's the next morning. Oops. It grew all the way up to here and has since fallen back down, but super bubbly. That's okay. We're gonna build a vein specifically for this bread that I'm gonna make later today. Where is mine? I need 200 grams of levain for my recipe, for the bread specifically. So I'm going to take out from this jar and make the levain in this jar. Then I'm going to, whatever's left in here, I'm going to feed a little bit and put that back in the fridge. And keep this as my starter jar, keep it alive to make more in the future. But now we'll use all of what goes in here. So I hope that makes sense. So that's just, instead of using my little dish, I will just be using this. So I figured that out. For me and my environment, whatever's in my kitchen, it's about 85. So if I do 85 grams of starter, 85 grams of water, and 85 grams of flour, even though that adds up to be, I don't know what the math is off the top of my head. That's that. All right, so 85 grams of this. It's nice and